Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi. I hope everyone is doing well on this evening. Usually I say it's another magnificent Monday, but it's Sunday. So, and we are here on tonight, as I will not be on a live show on tomorrow, which is Monday, but you'll probably be seeing this in the replay and it might just be Monday. So, happy Monday. Happy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it is that you watch this show. Welcome to Miss G's Ladies Lounge. I am your host, Gwen Finley, Miss G. That's me. And I'm here. I'm excited once again to come to share some great information with you and just have a good chat. Listen, I'm really excited about everything that's getting ready to happen as we enter into this holiday season. And I hope that each and every one of you are preparing for whatever it is that will make your heart happy throughout this season. We may not have everything we want, things may not be the way we want them to be, but the best thing that we can do is just to find the things that make us happy and to just try to live in those moments. So I want to first take a moment and just tell you a little bit about myself. I am Gwen Finley, and I am the host here at Miss G's Ladies Lounge. I am also a visionary author and coach. And I love just being able to share the platform with other visionaries and other magnificent women who have so much to pour into our communities and our families, our lives. And also, I love just being able to share great information. Sometimes I run across some people with such great information, and I'm like, how can I get this information to my friends and family? And so this is just the perfect platform for that. So I'm glad to be here to be able to share some great information on tonight and some great news on tonight. If you are watching, just take a moment to like, tag, share, just invite someone and let them know that we are live. They're used to seeing us on Monday, but let them know we're live tonight and that they can come on in the room, come on in the room. So I'm not going to prolong the time tonight. I have a wonderful guest with me on tonight. I didn't put anything out about my guest tonight, so it's a surprise. But I want you to just sit back and enjoy this wonderful woman who is going to join me tonight. Tonight, I'm going to also be introducing you again, or introducing you formally to my latest book, which is entitled "Perfectly Flawed The Diamond Status." And I want you to stick around and enjoy some of the things that we're going to talk about concerning the book, Perfectly Flawed The Diamond Status. I see you popping on in the room. Go ahead and let us know who's here. I see my long time friend, cousin. We call ourselves cousins, even though we're not blood related friends. Sharon, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. So glad to have you here. And anyone else who's in the room, come on in, come on in. So tonight I'm going to bring on my guest. I have a surprise guest with me on tonight in the person of, I'm going to go ahead and let the surprise the cat out of the bag because I do want to give her a little bit of a formal introduction, although I don't have her bio in front of me. But it is the person of Cherie Cameron. I was getting ready to say that little D she has in there. Cherie Cameron. And she is here with me on tonight. And she is going to, we're going to just chat a little bit about Perfectly Flawed, the Diamond Status. But let me just tell you a little bit about her. I can tell you that she's an amazing young woman. She has many degrees. She's a college grad. She is an educator and an amazing educator. She has served as schoolmaster and so many different things, different areas, resource, I believe. And so she's just done so many things in the education field, dealing with youth and children, and then she loves doing things on the outside of the school world. She loves working in ministry. She loves producing great events and things. And so she is an amazing woman. I think I know a little bit about her. So, so I'm going to go in the back. Just get yourself some popcorn and enjoy this commercial until we come back. We'll be right back. Well, look who I found hanging out in the back. Hey girl, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Love that little commercial.
Thank you. We're so excited about this book, Perfectly Flawed. I was just on another phone call, and this individual, she brought several copies already, and she can't wait to give them out. I probably shouldn't tell her business, but anyway, um, she was saying, I think I need to get more copies, and so I believe that this is going to be a really phenomenal read for many that will take the time to read it. It's not a long read or anything. So I would say, oh, she meant to say, hey. So I would say, it's just one of those things that is like a feel good moment. So we'll talk a little bit about it. So just tell us a little bit today about yourself and, greet us however you like.
I wasn't coming on here to talk about myself. I was excited about the book,
Okay.
Gwen. But
We,
hello. I think Gwen did a great job summarizing who I am. She left off one part that I'm probably most proud of, and that's being a mom. And I
yeah.
believe mom is one of my chief ministries. Really
Mhm.
just parenting in a way that's a little different than as a people we've traditionally been parenting. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited about, this season of my life being able to walk into that. But I just want to talk about the book. It's amazing. I'm
Okay.
glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're holding this space to promote and talk about your book, Gwen, because you make space for
Yeah.
so many women, so many people to just really share what God has put inside of them. And so tonight, this is about you. So I'm really excited to join you
Thank you
tonight for
so
this.
much. Thank you so much. I'm always a little nervous to talk about my own stuff, but I'm really excited. When I say I'm excited about this book, I'm really excited about this book, and I couldn't wait to get it in print. And the funny thing is, I actually spoke on this 2 years ago at a it wasn't a women's, it was just a conference, an event in Atlanta. And this is when I started writing it. And as I was writing, just what was supposed to be a 30-minute presentation or whatever, I started saying to myself, and that narrowed down to 15. I started saying to myself, this needs to be a book. And then I just got really, kind of slow in getting it out. But then I kept hearing the same thing over. We're all flawed. We are all flawed. And I kept hearing different little things. And as I was hearing them, I kept saying, I got to pick this back up and I've got to get to it. So here we are today. We finally got it done. Woohoo!
Yes.
So I've got my proof copy. I'll have all the originals in the mail this week. There was a little lag, but hey, I wanted it to be the best that it could be. So I
Right.
said, well, let me send it back and have it done correctly so that we can send them out. So I see my friend, longtime friend here, Deborah, is online. She's in New York and she's already pre-ordered her copy. Thank you so much, Deborah. It is coming. I promise you it's coming. And Cherie she was also instrumental in the editing of the book. And so she had the opportunity to read it in advance. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about it because I know that I have, like I said, my passion about it, but hearing perspectives of others also is always a great thing. So let me just ask you just a few questions, and
Okay.
we're not going to be on here long tonight. My first question to you is, what was your first thought when you saw the title of the book?
When I first saw the title, I think I thought, this is an interesting oxymoron. How is something perfect yet
Yeah,
flawed at the
yeah.
same time? So it's like I kind of wrestled with that. And then the diamond status, I'm like, well, diamonds, they've been through a little something something here. So we have perfectly flawed, and then we know diamonds have gone through a process, right? So I was intrigued. I was like, what is Gwen about to tell us in this? How do we come out seeing ourselves? So the
Mhm.
title, I think it draws people in because it's initially like, what? Perfectly
Yeah,
flawed. How is that even a thing?
exactly, exactly. And I'll tell you a funny story about that is that I did not, because one thing I do when I'm writing is I don't look up things to see if anybody else. I did, go through what the Library of Congress, whatever, make sure that the name was available. But other than that, the name that I had was available, but there were other books out there with the perfectly flawed, but they did not extend it to what I have. And so you make sure that you put the diamond status on there if you're
That's
looking for
right.
my
That's
book.
right.
Because it has its own twist, as she said. It has its own twist to it. But then I found songs. I found all kinds perfectly flawed songs, perfectly imperfect, and everything just goes with it so well. And so that was something that I was glad that I had put it down before I heard or saw anything else. And so
Yeah.
that and I write books differently. A lot of people tell me that they write their books and then they get a title. I always get a title. God always give me a title and then the content comes. And
Hmm.
that's really kind of different for a lot of people. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited again. Also, after reading the book, what are a few takeaways that you can share with the audience without giving away the whole story? What are some takeaways?
Let's see. How can I wet your whistle a little bit without giving you too much? I think one thing that stood out that I'm thinking about now, it relates to the state of the world pretty much. You kind of touch on how, as a society, as people, we've gone so far to try to replicate what other people are like, right? So now it's kind of down to the point where we all look like the next person, we act like the next person. And in doing that, I believe you said something like, we lose our uniqueness, right? Because we no longer have the essence of who we are, who God kind of
Mhm.
created us and called us to be. So we lose our uniqueness. And instead of gaining that level of perfection, as I guess we're striving for, instead we're becoming flawed,
Mhm.
And I just thought that
Exactly.
really resonated.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And even though, like you said, we're born flawed, but we're born perfect. And there's
Hmm.
the contrast once again. But when we do some of the things that we do, we end up becoming more flawed than we
Hmm.
were because
Without
we're
the
trying so
perfection.
right, trying so hard to be perfect that we
Yeah.
actually, become the flawed, more flawed than we are perfect. And so that's really a good perspective that you have gotten from reading this book. I'm also excited that being able to look into the Bible. I saw a man yesterday, and he said that he found out when he was a teenager that everything he needed to live was in the Bible. He
Hmm.
said he was really shocked. He didn't know that everything he needed to live was in the Bible. And
Hmm.
so he, as an older person, I guess he went through his life, he did what he had to do, but as an older person, he decided, hey, let me go back to what I knew. And he said he started following the principles and the patterns and the commandments and everything, and finding
Hmm.
out that everything he needed was right there, and that's
Right
what
there.
drove him to success. And
That's
so
right.
being able to compare this book, like I said, it has some natural things in it, but it has much of the word in it. And the
Yes.
word is what will sustain us. The word is what
Right.
will help us to grow and to
Right.
prosper. It even starts out in the Old Testament where he says, I've given you the power to get wealth. The power is in our hands. He's given us
Hmm.
everything that we need from beginning to end. And
That's right.
so, yeah, so
Yeah.
let's go on because
Wait,
I
and one more
promise.
thing, one more thing,
Go
one more
ahead.
thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna throw it out and then not give any context to it. But remember the diamond test. You just remember that. So when you get your
Just
copy,
remember
you want
that.
to look for that section, you want to go through it, the diamond test.
That's right, the diamond test. And take the diamond test. See if you
Take
can
the
take
diamond
it.
test.
See if you could take that's really good. And so I love the contrast with the diamonds and all of that. And like she said, we're not going to give you all of the content. I'll be talking more about the book and separating it here and there. But when we think about the elements of the world, God created everything. And whatever he said when he finished creating everything, what did he say? He said it is good. He didn't
That's right.
say that it was the way we thought it should be. He didn't say that, I should have done this and I should have. He said it was good. And his
That's
in
right.
his definition of good was perfect. It is just the
Hmm.
way it needed to be,
That's right.
right?
That's
So
right.
it was perfect in every area. And some of the things that we look at, oh, why is this street crooked? Why is this, whatever he did it. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? And when you go into some of these places and you wonder why was this, mountain over here on this side, and why is the water coming around on this way? But this is what God has created. So
Yeah.
now my question to you is,
Okay.
have you identified any of your flaws since reading the book, and identified how you can use them? And you don't have to tell us any. You could just tell us how that made you think about your flaws.
Yeah, for sure. I think just where I am in life now, I've already kind of been like on a little journey of like deep searching, within myself.
Hmm.
But like since reading the book, there's certain things like just we ask ourselves, why did I have this experience? Why did this have to happen and whatever? And a part of that could be that that's a part of the flaw that gives you the value and the worth, excuse me, like diamonds, right? They go through
Mm-hmm.
some hard stuff, that process.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes, we're quick to kind of play victim, or, just try to figure out the why, even if we're not trying to play victim, right? But it's like, why was this the case? But maybe that's just another part of, this is another part of you being perfectly flawed. Like, that's your
Mm-hmm.
experience, that's your situation. It's still who you are. It adds to your uniqueness inside of it. And so I think, like, after reading it, after thinking about the diamond test and all of that, that's something that kind of resonated within me too. Just like, hey, it's kind of like, you heard people say that had to happen type of thing.
Absolutely. And sometimes it does. It has to happen, and it has to happen just as it happened. Oh, we would
Right.
just, I mean, what we wouldn't give to have everything go smooth, right?
Right.
Smoothly. But no, it just can't happen that way,
That's
because
right.
then, I don't know if you remember, there was a group that used to be in New York, I forgot their name, the Sisters of God's Choice. But they used to sing a song. I think it was them, but they used to sing a song. If we never had, no, actually, that was Benny Cummins singers. If we never
Okay.
had any rain in our lives, then we never grow.
That's
There's
right.
some things that has to happen in your life in order for
Mhm.
you to grow, to prosper, in order for you to get what it is that, God has for you. There's some things that you have
Right.
to go through. And I was very vulnerable in this book in sharing some
Yes,
of
you were.
my own flaws and sharing some of my own testimony. And believe me, I did not give them all because there's so many more I could talk about. But there were two things in particular that, have gone with me for many years. And I really wanted to make sure that I was able to share that. Because I want people to see that even though you have some of these issues and circumstances, it is not the cause for your destiny to be aborted. So what you
Mhm.
have to do now is learn how to take your flaws and work through them, work with them, and let them be the perfection that God has
That's right.
created. So we're
That's right.
almost out of time. We're almost out of time. I just want to ask you, who do you think, after reading the book, who do you think that would be a good candidate to read this book?
Anyone who's alive, who's lived, who's been through anything. I mean, really, I think, and I know it's, we think of women with this, and even the W and the title, the slanted W for
Right.
flawed, it makes me think of Superwoman. I know it's supposed to represent a
Ah,
flaw, something that's imperfect, but it makes me think of like Superwoman for some reason. So I think initially we think, oh, it's just for women, but I think it's for anyone who's
mhm,
lived through
mhm,
anything. And I think it could be something helpful for even teenagers. Maybe do a mother daughter book club.
mhm,
It's not a
mhm,
long read, it's a simple read, but it could be an
mhm,
opportunity for you and your daughter to kind of sit down and
mhm,
discuss this together. There's so much that the world, I think, throws at our young people, young and old alike, or young and not so young, I guess we'll say, you know,
yeah.
alike. But why not help them to carve out their identity, really lock into who they are, not forget their uniqueness. Like, it's fine to want to, do your hair up, do your nails, your face, all of that, but don't lose your uniqueness and don't focus so much on that external part that you forget the real you, the inside you. So maybe have
Mhm,
a couple of girlfriends, do a mother daughter
mhm,
book club, right? And just go through
mhm.
the book together and have honest dialogue to see where those young people are as well. So you can be 18, you can be 80,
Yeah. Yeah.
13, just whatever. I think just pick the book up. If you've lived, you've had any experiences, you're gonna
Mhm.
continue to live, you'll have experiences. It's a book you want
Absolutely.
to get your hands on, and really take in and have those valuable conversations. And while you're reading it, it's going to feel like your friend is right there talking to you. That's one thing I really loved about the book, is that
Mhm.
throughout the entire time I could still hear you. And so it wasn't that stuffy, let me tell you things type of writing. You really can
Right.
hear Gwen in it. So it's kind of
Awesome.
like hearing your girlfriend talk to you through it. So
Mhm.
get that book, get your girls together, whether it's your home girls, your own children, whoever it is. Guys, get together and read it. It's all right to have a book in your
Mhm.
hands that's the diamond status.
Absolutely.
Get through it, read it, and do the digging, do the work.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cherie. And you really expressed my heart. And I think I wrote that somewhere in the outside of the book, the where you put just kind of the overview. And I believe I wrote that, that it's for everybody,
It is for
anybody. And I
everyone.
was just talking to another friend and I was saying to her, I even wish that people would get this in the hands of their youth ministries and, schools can
Yes,
even, take this as something because our young people need to understand who they really are.
that's right.
And they have already come into this world with the assumption that they have to be somebody that they're not. Yes,
Right.
I have my wig on, but if you looked at last week's show, I don't wear my natural hair because I don't care because that's who
Yeah.
I really am.
Right.
Today I just didn't feel like doing my hair, so
Yeah.
I threw a wig on, and I don't mind saying it's a wig because it's not, it's I'm just all the way natural, believe me. And I'm talking about in general. I can be
Yeah.
who I am and still be happy and still have a good time in life.
That's
And
right.
that's the important thing. It's not that you can't every once in a while enhance something, but
Mm-hmm.
you should never lose who you really are.
That's right. That's
You
right.
are perfect in the way God created you, and
Mm,
whether that's flawed or not, yeah, I mean, I wish I had them little curly hairs like some people, they just put some water on it like that one over there, just put some water on it and make it. I don't have it. I can't make it do what it do. So, I have to sometimes get a little help when I don't have all that kind of time. And someone said to me, "Yeah, but all you got to do is no, man. This stuff here takes work. It takes more work than people think. So just for those,
Yeah.
so just understanding who you are despite
Yes.
what
Yes.
you feel about yourself. And it took a while. It took a
Yeah.
long time for me to get to that
Mm-hmm.
point. And
Mm-hmm.
so, anyway, I want to thank you so much. I know you got to go. You're just jet setting and running in, and and you are what's the word? You are on demand tonight. So I'm gonna let you get on out of here. And I
Okay.
thank you so much for joining me. And I look
Absolutely.
forward to more. And as I said, Cherie is raising virtue. I brought it up. Yes, Raising Virtue helped me to edit my book. She don't even know that I put that in.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Raising Virtue Productions is on the rise also. So make sure you
Right.
check her out as well. All right, we'll be talking to you again soon. Thank you again
Okay.
and have a
Thank
happy
you.
holiday. I don't see you, but I'm sure I will. All right, love you.
Hey, love you too.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for joining in with us today. Listen, it's just I just wanted to kind of come on and I won't be able to do my show on tomorrow, which is Monday. We generally do Mondays, but I just wanted to come on and just chat with you. I want you to know that you are amazing, that you are everything that God has designed you to be. He created you. He created you because you have purpose. He created you because you are a part of His creation, and therefore you matter. And so, as I said, I have my new book. I'm going to put my finger over the proof. This is my proof. So I'm getting my books this week. We had a little backlog on it, so Perfectly Flawed, but it is available right now on Amazon. It is available, and that is the finished copy is available on Amazon.com. I'm really excited for you to be able to dive into this book. And when you read it, go back and give me a nice review and let me know. Even if you didn't like it, go back and let me know. It's okay because I want to know what I need to do for my next book to make sure that it's right just for you. Listen, I'm excited about what God is doing in this season. And I didn't say, I forgot to say, well, I didn't forget, but we were talking and I wanted to get her answers, her responses in before her time was up. But this is my first self-published book. So I'm really excited. My first self-published book from cover to the end. And I am excited about what God has allowed me to do, even in this book the things that I have been holding back on myself. As I said, when I put this show out, there are some things that we've been telling ourselves that we can't do, or that we're not good enough, or that, we're not qualified. God has qualified you. He has put some gifts in your hand. He has put some talents in your being. He has equipped you to do things that whatever it is He called you to do. And we have to learn how to use what God has given us, not for us. It's not even for us. It's for someone else. So what has God placed in your hands? What has He given you to do? Don't let what you think is a flaw. Don't let one iota, one thing, don't let it hold you back from doing what God has called you to do. I thank you so much for joining me on tonight. And I look forward to seeing you again for our next show, which will be on next Monday, tomorrow's the 4th. So next Monday, December the 11th, we'll be back with a live show and a guest, if that's what the Lord says. But if not, I'll be back and I'll be chatting with you some more. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that joined in. Thank you, my friend Sabrina. So glad to have you here with me. Thank you again, Sharon and Geraldine and Deborah and everybody who joined in, whether I see your name or not. I appreciate each and every one of you. Go on over to Amazon, get your book, Perfectly Flawed The Diamond Status. I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.